Hey, welcome. I am with Shawnna. Sorry, I didn't get your name in the beginning, but I'm with Shawnna from the Das House out of Loretto, Pennsylvania. So Shawnna, Das House,
Yeah,
new to the paranormal world.
it
Um,
is.
the question I have to ask: do you guys own it or just help run it?
No, we own it. Danielle and I own it.
Okay,
Mhm.
I wasn't sure about that because there's a lot of groups out there now that help run, certain buildings and everything,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't really find anything on your Facebook that you guys actually owned it or you just
yeah.
ran it. So how did that become about then?
The Dawes House came about. Everything basically that we're doing, have done, and is coming to is all in honor of my mother, Holly Cataldo. She was very much involved in the paranormal community, and 2023 she passed away from stage 4 cancer. So in the midst of that, Danielle and I took over her paranormal group. It was Unique Paranormal 1. We have renamed it Unique Paranormal 1.5. And in hindsight, she always wanted to own a haunted Airbnb. Well, money tree didn't land in my front yard. So Danielle did start looking after my mom passed away, looking to find a haunted location to open in honor of her. And we just so happened to stumble across the Doss House about 8 or 9 months into the search. We found the Doss House and we got in there and checked it out. And needless to say, we bought it and opened it up on Halloween of last year. And it's been soaring ever since.
I mean, I've looked. I mean, like every paranormal investigator, you kind of look to see, what's haunted place out there that we could buy.
Yeah.
So, what kind of attracted you to the Das House that you knew was kind of haunted, or did it have a history of like paranormal before?
It did. So it's odd how we came across the place because Doss, who was the barber, actually was Danielle's grandfather. So the house had sat with the family for years, just abandoned. Nobody was really doing anything with it. We got a call from Danielle's aunt, and she was like, "Hey, Danielle, do you want to pick up your pap's mantle from the house? I'm trying to just sort things out that I know family members would want, and I know you would appreciate it because he made it." And she's like, "Of course." So we, took a drive out to Loretto, Pennsylvania. I had never been to Loretto, Pennsylvania in my entire life. On our way there, I'm very sensitive to certain things, like certain locations make me feel sick. And I just thought we were going to her family's house. I wasn't thinking anything beyond that. And on the way there, I just got really sick. She had to pull over for me. And about 20 minutes later, we pull up to this place. And I'm looking at the place and I'm looking at Danielle. And I said, "Danielle." She's like, "What?" And she kind of was like, she didn't know how to respond to me. I don't know if she was embarrassed because, how the house looked, knowing that it was her grandparents' house, or what. She didn't really know what I was saying her name for. And I said to her in that moment, I was like, "You've been looking for a haunted location for over a year. And you're telling me that this is in your family and you never thought of this being an option?" She's like,
Yeah.
"No, and I don't know why." She's like, "I had tons of experiences here as a kid, me and my sister, my parents, my grandparents, obviously." And Doss had reported for years that there was a little girl in a green dress that always harassed him. It was always causing trouble. We don't really know exactly what their complaints were, Doss and his wife. All we do know is that they did bring a paranormal investigative team in there in 1976. And we learned that information from Frank, the historian who lives across the street, who just so happened to be Doss's best friend for years and years. He told us the story, of the little girl in the green dress that Doss had always spoken about, and something that was just didn't feel right, and everybody was starting to, their moods were changing and feeling uncomfortable. So they had this team come in, and, it was very hush-hush. This is a very Catholic town. It wasn't something that you talked about. So a couple weeks went by, and Frank followed up with Doss, and he was like, "Hey, whatever happened with that team that came in there?" And Frank told us the only thing Doss had ever said was that they found something not so nice in the basement. And that was it. And they never spoke of it again. He never said if things got better, if things got worse. There was no follow-up of anything. So here we are.
Yeah, kind of fell in your lap. That's cool, though. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to do too much history on places. So I
Mhm.
have heard something dark in the basement.
There's
Prior.
Danielle. She was able to pop in there, so I'm sure she could answer questions in the comments too.
So what do you think is there something dark in the basement there then?
All I will say is this, is that the DOS house has very low vibrational energy and very high vibrational energy. I am by no means an expert. I have only really been in the paranormal field with both feet for about 2 years since my mom passed away. So I'm still learning. All I can tell you is that the feeling down there is not very nice. We have, and several other teams have heard growling. They get some very not nice communication coming back at them. We have had one of our friends, Sarah Lee and Jim Houston, both got scratched down there at one point. So yeah, there's definitely, and then we had an event this past June that there was a bench set up next to the stairwell, and they were doing a seance down there with Patty Negri, and they kept getting bum rushed from behind those steps, and the bench was actually moving. So there's definitely a strong energy that's pretty darn mad for whatever reason. That's how I kind of look at it, and enjoys scaring people. I don't know what it is. I have speculations of what I think it is, but I don't really know. There's 2 spots in the house that have a very low vibrational energy to me, and that is the basement and then the crawl space at the top of the 2nd floor stairwell. That's also a not so nice spot. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't feel very good down there.
What is up with basements and people being scratched? Like the only time I've heard people being scratched are in basements.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, knock on wood, luckily I've never been scratched or poked. I mean, obviously poked, but touched on the back of the neck and stuff like that, but never scratched. And I'm hoping that never happens.
I've been doing this about 20 years. I've never been scratched.
Yeah. Better knock on something, man.
All right. I've had a feeling of like an ice pick going in my back a couple times down at Bel Air. I mean, not really. It's kind of just more of a burning sensation.
Yeah.
Never scratched and no marks on me.
Yeah, me neither.
A few of my team members have been scratched a few times, but
maybe we're just the lucky ones, Ryan. Maybe we're just the lucky ones.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, like, there's people out there like, oh, I want to be scratched, I want to be slapped, until you're scratched.
I don't want to.
Oh, so how did you all get into the table tipping? What is table tipping?
Okay, so table tipping is basically a 3-legged older table. In my opinion, it should be completely smooth. They kind of resemble like a plant stand table. That's the best way I could describe it. So this was something that I encountered for the first time at the historic 1912 Hoover House in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. One of my mother's most favorite places on the planet. Her closest best friends are always there and run it. And they basically use the table as a means of communication with spirit. So from what I have observed, and for lots and lots of years, I was the one who was like on the floor looking at everybody's feet and watching the table and, making sure nobody's whites of the tips of their fingers were. So basically what you do is you set it, you can gather, however many people you can fit around this table, and you place just your fingertips on the table. There's usually one person in charge of starting, opening, and closing communication. Jim Wyrick is who Jim and his sister Jen, we watch the most. They, everybody introduces themselves. They put some type of oil. Danielle might know what type of oil it is. Basically like to cleanse your fingers before you place them on the table. Usually each table has a name. It belongs to someone. So our friend Jen, her table's name is Emma. We have another friend, Jerry. His table's name is Murphy. So you always address the table by its name. And you basically use it as a form of communication. Like if everybody's fingertips are on there, you ask who spirit is here that they're here to communicate with, and the table genuinely leans in a direction, or a yes or no answer. You'll get a slight lean. There has been times that I've seen the table actually levitate, come straight up off of the floor. There has been times it goes from standing to completely smack on its face, where everybody's like, They don't know what to do. So to me, it's just a tool of communication. I'm not 100% experienced in it. My mother loved it. She participated in it quite frequently. And it's very interesting. Lots of, people that really still aren't unsure about it, which is understandable. But all I can say is, and until you actually experience it with an experienced group of people, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Cool. So do you guys have a table there at the Doss house that you can do this?
We did. There are several tables in there, but none of the tables that Danielle has felt was type of like had an energy about it, I guess you could say. Kind of like how certain people look at dolls and they hold energy. I guess that's the same type of thing with these tables. They're supposed to like call to you, I guess. I mean, never has happened for me yet. We did pick up one table thinking that possibly, and it hasn't really been anything yet. So as of right now, Jen and Jim just bring their tables along when we do stuff with them. And they're actually coming up because we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary at the Doss house on Halloween. So we invited them up to celebrate our 1-year anniversary with us doing some table tipping at the house.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I've never even heard of that. Yeah. Interesting, though. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely interesting. We will be live on our TikTok page that night. So it usually gets pretty wild, because like I said, you get a lot of, anytime you use any tools like that, you get all the skeptics come out of the woodwork, and, they are trying to debunk it from behind a camera screen like I am, being there crawling on the floor and watching everybody's fingers, you know what I mean? So it took me a lot of years to actually slightly believe in it. And yeah, it took me actually being at the table to truly understand and feel what it was about.
Quick question. So you said you've been got really into the paranormal for just a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So your mom sounds like she was in it for a long time. She
was in it for a very long time.
How did you not kind of?
Well, 100% transparency. Okay. So I always went to do things with my mom, but I was that kid was like, yeah, you're full crap. Like, you're so full crap. Like, and I was, and she knew that I felt that way, but she was constantly teaching me. I was, always putting me in situations of learning and at least seeing and experiencing things. And it wasn't until I was probably in my early 30s, I want to say, along the way, there are bits and pieces of things that happen, but a friend of mine, and I'm not even sure how my friend knew about my mom, but she got a hold of me and she was like, hey, I saw your mom's coming in town. Do you think she'll do a reading for me? And I was like, sure, I guess. So I asked my mom, and she was coming in town to visit me and the kids. And my friend, she came over, and I sat in the living room with my mom, and my mom told things about a recent tragedy that had happened within her family in the last couple of months that my mother would have known nothing about this. She never met this person in her life. And when she nailed everything and spoke of, the horrible accident in detail, my mind was changed forever. So in that moment, I started looking at things a lot differently. I actually went to a couple investigations with her and her team. And there was just too many unexplained things, like even just as simple as a mag light turning on and off in response intelligently blew my mind. A piano playing itself on its own with nobody over there. So, and then I was hooked. I was hooked. I did a couple more things with her. We would go to the Gettysburg Bash every year together, but it was kind of like my mom's thing that I would just go, or me and Danielle, the last couple of years, we would just go and hang out with her and just be there for the experience. It wasn't until she passed away that I really dove into it, because honestly, for me, within my grief journey, it was something that she loved so much and was so much a part of. It helped me to feel closer to her by doing these things.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean,
mm-hmm.
Like my mom, she liked it, but she never really did it.
Mm-hmm.
She bought me the tickets to go down to Mansfield for Christmas and all that fun stuff. But
mm-hmm.
I'm like, why don't you come with me? She's like, no, take a friend. I think my mom taught a good game. I think she was She was a badass in mine, but when it came to it, she was like, "Yeah, I don't want to deal with this stuff. So you go do it and tell me
Yeah.
about it."
Yeah. Your mom was
But,
like, take a friend. And I was telling my mom that. Yeah, I'm good. You take a friend.
so no, it was. She got me into it. Just when you get
Mhm.
older, Christmas presents are harder to come by. So go to a haunted location.
There
That's
you
what it
go.
was.
We're actually, if you all are interested in coming out, we're actually for the month of October, we're running a special. It's going to be our last special of the year. That if y'all want to come out, you can, if you book within the 2025 calendar, which we have like 6 or 7 dates left available. You get a 2026 investigation for up to 8 people for absolutely free. So finish the year off at the Doss House and then come back again next year. 2 for the price of 1.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Do you just book in October for like any other month, like November?
Oh, it's just for the rest of 2025. So
Okay.
if you pick a date, October, November, December, and then you get a completely free whenever you want in 2026.
All right, I have to look.
I like to throw lots of little specials and deals out there all the time to try to make it more intriguing and more affordable for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's why you guys have gotten pretty popular. The Doss House.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For just a year into it, just popping up, and
Yeah.
it's about the paranormal for you and groups. That's what I love about you guys.
And we have heat. We have heat.
I don't know if I'm a fan of heat. Like, I like heat, but
And a flushable toilet. That's always a bonus.
Of course, Bird has to. Michael Messina, we call him Bird. So
it's like cold like your heart.
Yeah, they know me too well.
Oh, man.
So I make my group do stuff like a lot of solos and all that fun stuff. And,
awesome.
They don't like it, but
I always get voted off the island because I'm probably the biggest chicken in the group. So, I understand. I understand, Michael. Like, I'm usually that one. Mm-hmm.
I'll just wait. Like, I think it's December 5th. I call it the Fellowship of the Spirits. I think there's 7 groups coming up to Madison.
Oh, wow.
They have no idea what's in store for them. Like, the games we're going to play. I mean, Alme Paranormal's on here. Donna, yeah, you guys, Caden, just wait. There's going to be there's going to be blindfolds and locked in rooms solo. So everyone says they can't wait till it happens, but no, it's going to be fun. We're going to play a lot of games.
Awesome.
No, I need to get down to Doss House sometime.
Absolutely.
This year. Anytime. I've been flying pretty much solo a lot lately with other groups, so maybe we can try to, when you're down there, maybe I come do join us. I mean,
yeah, we're always up for anything, of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, what other places have you investigated since you just kind of got into this? And
well, our list obviously isn't lengthy because it's a year of opening the Doss House and just doing this stuff. But we have done, obviously, Madison and Fairfield. We have done Pennhurst. We recently just took a trip out to Michigan. We did Eloise Asylum out there. Awesome place. Love it there. The Bel Air House. Oh, shoot. The hotel in Winburn. Ashley, what's the name? Blair owns it. It's a hotel in Winburn. I can't remember the name of it. Help me out, y'all. Crescent Sanatorium and Prison, the Cambria County Old Stone Jail here in Evansburg, the Nanny Glow Theater. Help me out, guys. Yes, the Grand Midway. That's the one. That's a cool place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where else we've gone. The Reliquary of St. John's, that's in Fredonia, Pennsylvania. That's a brand new location. I don't know if I missed anything, Daniel. I'm sure you'll tell me. And then obviously the Doss House Unlimited. Indiana Sanatorium, yep. That was cool. That was a good one.
I mean, for a couple of years, you knocked off a lot. I mean, it's a pretty impressive group.
It's pretty addictive, Ryan. You know this. It's pretty
I
addictive.
know. If I didn't work 67 hours a week, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, see?
I just do podcasts now. But.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hillview Manor. We've done that too. Look at all my people having my back out here. Hillview Manor. Have you done Hillview Manor yet?
I've not done Hillview Manor. So what do you think about Bel Air House?
Oh man. Well, that's a loaded question. I need to go back because what happened there we were not prepared for. That's how I'm going to put it. We just were not prepared. A couple of our team members were taken down from the attic.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I was outside of my mind the whole time, pretty much. Everybody was telling me. I wandered off by myself. When we got there, we usually all, say a prayer together before we go in, put protections in place, because even though we are, seeking higher vibrational energy, we do acknowledge that there are lower vibrational energies, right? So we implement those things for our group to make sure everybody's safe and educated and all these things. And I don't know what, I walked in, was walking around the house, went alone, and I never do that. I ended up in the attic. The next thing I know, another teammate of ours, Amy, was right behind me. She never does this either. We went up there. Next thing, we come downstairs, and everybody was concerned. After about 2 hours of being in there, there was some things that were happening that were concerned. Amy and I were acting not as ourselves, obviously. Quite a few members of our group felt uncomfortable. We did later learn some extra things about the place, what people have done there or do there or can place there or things like that, being as discreet as possible. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience. Now, when we first got, I felt like there was nothing really. So for that to have happened, it's kind of thrown me for a loop a little bit. So I do want to go back, having, certain things in place and really trying to figure out what exactly happened. And then that'll be it. I would never have to go back again. It'll be fine. But yeah, I've heard all over stories from people that have gone there, but we went in there blind, and that was probably a really bad idea.
Are you the type of person that can drive by something and just feel like there's something there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, that's what drew you to Das House. I mean,
for sure.
He showed up. So
yeah, it's kind of one of those things that you do. I'm sure how psychic mediums feel. Like you wish that you could just switch off and not have to deal with that stuff for a little while. But yeah, nope, happens all the time.
So what are the big plans at Das House next year?
Big plans at the Das House. Like I said, not much of anything big and planned besides our 1 year anniversary. And we're just going to, let the Das House do the Das House thing. Just, be there for the community. And that's what it was established there for. My mom wanted to have a nice place that people could come and investigate that actually was haunted. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, that place is definitely haunted. But yeah, next June, we're talking about doing our Creep It Real Festival again. Last June, it was pretty awesome. We held that at the Cambria County Old Stone Jail in Evansburg. Had quite a few big name people turn up for that. So we're talking about doing that again. Outside of that, kind of just, I want to focus more on going to events and meeting more people, talking about the Das House, talking about my experience. I've been doing some guest speaking about, my grief journey and, turning my pain into power, things like that. Just kind of uplifting people, encouraging, giving people some hope. We're looking at some avenues to create some type of a platform for people who are struggling with, coming into knowing that they do have psychic mediumship abilities. My mom was ridiculed most of her life and wasn't able to express that she had abilities until she was much, much older. So we're trying to put together kind of like a safe space for people to turn to for guidance, people that can mentor people who are struggling. Because, yeah, I think that's a big thing in the community right now is people are afraid to speak up. They're afraid to tell their friends and their families and their coworkers because they look at them like they're crazy. And, so having a safe space for people who are discovering those things about themselves, I think is important. So we're trying to throw something together to support that right now. Hoping to have something up and running by January.
Do you think it's more accepted now, though, that it's out there?
I do think it is a little bit more accepted, but I think the worldly community that isn't accepting of it never is going to be. Certain, religious, towns, beliefs, especially one that the Doss House is sitting in, those types of communities are never going to change. So I think teaching individuals that are getting ridiculed from people like that, putting things into place to help them cope and understand perspectives, and that, at the end of the day, everybody is entitled to feel that they want to, but it doesn't give you the right to treat them any less of a human being just because you have differences and different views and opinions. Because honestly, if you look at it in a whole, that's all it is views and opinions. Nothing in this world, from paranormal to religion, is actually factual. So all I care about at the end of the day is if you're a good human or not. And if you're not a good human, we can't be friends. If you're a good human, we can be friends.
I think we're being more accepted to psychic mediums, but I think what's washing it down a little bit is the fakes because of social media.
Mm-hmm.
So it is hard to believe some people.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, I always need proof. Like if you're a psychic medium, prove it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're not, I'm going to say you're not what you say you are.
Right.
But if you want to go out there on social media and claim to be like the most powerful psychic medium.
I see it every day. Yeah. People pretending to be something that they're not, or claiming that they're one thing until that doesn't work out for them, and then they claim that they're something else. I just tell everybody, your intuition is your most powerful tool. And if your intuition says anything, even just the slightest little hiccup, then you probably should steer clear. So, and it's very hard to trust in anybody. It truly is.
And that hurts the people that are being legit too.
Absolutely does. It absolutely does. They have to prove themselves tenfold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, go on TikTok and go on the lives and see how many psychics you see.
Yeah. Too many to count.
Too many. And then they message me. Like I just scroll through them and they message me.
Oh yeah.
I have
a feeling. You pay me money. You pay me money. I pull you card.
Yeah.
That's what I get all the time. Yeah, all the time.
No, I think that's cool. You're trying to do that. There's a lot of stuff out there that paranormal is so unknown, and we will never know.
No.
That's why we keep going. That's why we keep doing it.
Absolutely. So, yep. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, why do you do this? And why this? Why that? And I said, hey, listen, it is truly my grief journey. All of this is my grief journey. And if I could have, the opportunity to speak to my mom for a half of a second, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to keep doing it in hopes that I get that half of a second. I'm sure, anybody out there that has lost somebody, this was the biggest loss I've ever experienced in my life. And, anybody who's lost anybody that close to them, the thought of possibly having a couple seconds of validation that you're actually speaking with them, I think that makes all the difference.
Yeah, I also asked that since, this was like your mom's dream.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt her at the Doss House or?
I predominantly, I sense her around occasionally, but like I tell everybody, I never really know when she's here or when she's not. There was only a couple, maybe like 3 instances. One was the day she passed away. The other one was, Ashley and Mike had came to the Doss House, and they had brought a piece of equipment with them that they had never gotten a response out of ever. And I can't remember who in that moment. I was just having an emotional day that day. I don't know why. But somebody had mentioned that my mom was there, that they sensed that she was there with us. And I was like, yeah, no, she's not. She's never around. She never lets me know that she's here. Like, that's where my headspace was. So through the investigation, I said, okay, Mom, if you are here, light that piece of equipment up all the way that it can possibly light up, because it was like stacked colors on this thing. And within that moment, it blared and blared and continuously blared off. And then I said, okay, if that's for real you, then you can back away now. And it did. So will we ever know if that was really her? No. Was it comforting to me to know that that piece of equipment had never gone off, and it did like that when I specifically asked her to do it? Makes you wonder. Makes you feel good. And it was pretty neat. Yeah, lots of families been coming through for people at the Doss house lately. That's been really unique change of events that's been going on there. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen Halloween night when we do the table tipping, because we're going to have, some of our team members there, some regulars, and then quite a few people from the community. We opened that up free of charge. Nobody pays to come to this, and anybody who wanted to check it out and see what table tipping was about. So, there's going to be familiars and unfamiliars at the table tipping. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to go and who's going to come through for people there.